A king for a day.
Hai, selamat malam teman-teman semua. Selamat bergabung kembali di Coaching Insight episode kedua tentang The Genius Mindset. Malam hari ini kita bertemu kembali untuk juga kita belajar dan ada satu tamu spesial yang khusus memang saya akan interview di malam hari ini, itu adalah Peter Barr, MCC. Dia pernah datang ke Jakarta pada tahun 2014 yang lalu dan juga di Indonesia Coaching Summit tahun 2018 yang lalu beliau juga menyempatkan diri untuk hadir dan memberikan presentasi tentang Deep Shift Platform. Malam hari ini beliau akan kita undang untuk berbicara tentang Genius Mindset. Dan ada sebetulnya sedikit perjuangan bagi Peter untuk join di kesempatan Insight Show kali ini karena memang time difference antara Australia dan Jakarta yang agak panjang ya, jadi sekitar 3 jam sekarang, ya exactly 3 jam sebetulnya, beliau ada di Brisbane. Jadi sekarang ini pukul 9.30 malam di sana, dan tadi sebetulnya kita sempat bingung nih dengan perbedaan waktu, karena ada perubahan Daylight Saving Time, waktu tanggal 31 Maret yang lalu kemarin ini, jadi perbedaan yang biasanya 2 jam jadi 3 jam. Dan kita pikir jam 9 malamnya dia itu jam 7-nya sini. Rupanya jam 6. Tadi beliau udah join dan dia pikir itu adalah jam 9-nya dia. Jadi sekarang jam 9.30 malam, ya setengah 10 malam. Jadi beliau sudah memulai aktivitas hari ini pukul 4.30. Dan untuk stay sampai larut malam di waktu Brisbane seperti sekarang ini sangat-sangat appreciated. Malam hari ini teman-teman kita akan banyak mengupas tentang misteri dari genius. Ya, apa itu sih sebetulnya definisi genius? Dan Peter Barr dan juga banyak sekali saintis, orang-orang terkenal itu percaya bahwa setiap orang itu dilahirkan jenius, tetapi proses kehidupan membuat kita menjadi tidak jenius. Nah ini yang ingin kita bongkar. Ada apa dengan proses kehidupan kita? Dan bagaimana sebetulnya nanti coaching bisa membantu kita untuk kembali ke genius mind yang secara natural kita miliki. Bagi saya sendiri ini merupakan tema yang menarik ya, bagaimana mengawinkan antara coaching dengan sisi psikologis dan juga sisi neuroscience bisa jadi ya, yang terkait dengan genius mind, IQ, EQ, dan juga SQ bahkan. Ini nanti bagaimana perannya, dan bagaimana sebetulnya coaching bisa mengikat itu semua menjadi satu quality dari dalam diri kita. Kami dari Coaching Indonesia sangat berbahagia bisa terus menjalankan komitmen kami di Coaching Insight Show yang kedua. Dan yang pertama tentang transformative coaching, kemudian hari ini kita bicara tentang genius mindset. Yang ketiga sebagai bocoran, di 2 minggu ke depan, tanggal 29 April kita akan bicara tentang personal brand. Jadi bagaimana membangun personal brand sebagai seorang coach. Ini tentunya menarik sekali bagi teman-teman yang sudah belajar coaching, sudah praktek, tapi mungkin masih mengalami challenge ya ketika ingin menampilkan diri kepada dunia luar tentang siapa diri ini sebagai coach. Dan kita akan kupas nanti di episode ketiga, personal brand, ya, how to build your branding as a coach. Nanti kita akan mendatangkan pembicara juga, ada Mbak Lorencia Lina, atau panggilannya Mbak Lina, kemudian juga ada Mbak Ananda Prilianti. Yang terakhir ini dia seorang marketing director sebuah perusahaan FMCG terkenal dan besar, multinasional ya. Kemudian tahun lalu memutuskan untuk mengambil pensiun dini dan menekuni dunia coaching. Dan kita ingin dengar juga bagaimana strategi marketing untuk produk yang beliau kelola waktu itu sebagai marketing director itu, sisi-sisi paralel yang bisa kita implementasikan di dunia coaching itu apa aja. Itu nanti ya tentang episode ketiga. Dan saya sendiri sebetulnya belum berhenti nih selama 3 minggu terakhir roadshow kesana kemari, dan baru saja selesai kemarin sore untuk program sertifikasi coaching ya, CPC, Certified Professional Coach yang ke-59 di Grand Mahakam kemarin. Dan kita welcome juga beberapa rekan yang mendapatkan Certified Coach baru saja ya, dan bergabung malam hari ini. Jadi kita welcome kehadiran teman-teman semua. Jadi saya pun kembali ya, meskipun cukup lelah selama 3-4 minggu terakhir ini, tapi begitu ini kita ngomong nih tentang sesuatu yang sangat-sangat interesting malam hari ini. Jadi saya vibrant lagi lah istilahnya ya. Jadi saya ingin menyapa semua teman-teman yang jumlahnya saat ini ada 35 peserta, dan kita expect akan bertambah seiring dengan kita nanti jalan di show ini. Karena yang masuk sebagai peserta itu untuk episode kali ini ada sekitar 100 lebih ya pendaftar, dan kita berharap nanti pelan-pelan kita akan bertambah jumlahnya. Nah, saya pun ingin memastikan teman-teman sedang dalam kondisi yang pas ya untuk mendengarkan. Jadi bagi teman-teman yang lagi nyetir, dengerin aja, nggak usah ngelihat ke layar. Kalaupun pas macet, ya tengoklah layarnya sebentar, tapi kemudian konsentrasi lagi di jalan. Bagi teman-teman yang sudah sampai ke rumah, juga bisa sambil rileks mendengarkan dan juga melihat ya show ini dari HP ataupun dari komputer masing-masing, dan pastikan Anda dalam kondisi yang memang enak gitu ya, tidak lagi diburu-buru. Show kali ini itu direkam, dan hasil rekamannya nanti akan dipublish. Kalau memang mau download dengan versi yang lebih singkat, ya nanti kami akan publish ke rekan-rekan semua. Jadi sekali lagi selamat datang bagi rekan-rekan yang sudah join di kesempatan Coaching Insight Show episode kedua tentang Genius Mindset. Hari ini kita akan berbicara tentang Genius Mindset bersama dengan Peter Barr. Dia adalah Master Coach dari Australia dan sempat menjadi Global Director dari ICF dari tahun 2014 sampai 2016 yang lalu. Dan Peter sudah join harusnya ya di kesempatan ini sejak 1 jam yang lalu, karena kita lagi ada kebingungan soal perbedaan waktu. Pastikan teman-teman nanti mencatat kalau memang mau mencatat, dan audio serta video dari rekan-rekan semua itu kami disable untuk sementara. Jadi komunikasi kita bisa melalui fasilitas chat yang tersedia di interface Zoom Anda. Jadi bisa nanti ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan, silahkan untuk di-publish di chat ini, dan saya akan membacakannya dan mentranslate-nya ke dalam bahasa Inggris bagi Peter, ya, untuk kemudian dia menjawab. Dan jika ada beberapa poin penting dari Peter Barr yang kelihatannya perlu saya translate, itu pun nanti saya akan sampaikan. Nah, saya ingin mengecek Peter Barr, jadi dia saat ini harusnya sudah join, namun kita tidak menemukan namanya di sini, jadi saya sedang mencari bersama dengan Josh. Nah, sambil Josh juga mencari, saya ingin mengumumkan beberapa hal, ya, beberapa poin yang nanti akan ditampilkan juga di layar. Josh, nanti please share the screen ya. Ada beberapa pengumuman yang saya akan announce di sini terkait dengan kegiatan-kegiatan dari Coaching Indonesia selama beberapa pekan ke depan. Yang pertama itu adalah webinar hari Rabu tanggal 24 April 2019 itu bersama dengan Mas Irfan Prarendra. Ini tentang sales coaching. Jadi untuk webinar ini bukan bagian dari episode Coaching Insight ya, tapi ini terpisah tanggal 24 April 2019 itu pukul 18.30 sampai pukul 19.30 selama 1 jam, itu Mas Irfan akan memandu Anda step by step. Apa sih sales coaching itu? Bagaimana Anda sebagai profesional bisa membangun karir sebagai seorang sales coach? Kompetensi-kompetensi apa saja yang dibutuhkan untuk menjadi seorang sales coach? Mas Irfan sebagai sales coach practitioner juga nanti akan berbagi tentang teknik-teknik coaching ya yang bisa dipakai. Anda mungkin akan mendapatkan beberapa takeaway dari webinar itu yang kemudian bisa dipraktekkan di kehidupan sales Anda dalam menjual dan juga mempengaruhi orang lain. Kemudian event selanjutnya itu tanggal 27 sampai 28 April 2019 akan ada Entrepreneurship Coach Practitioner. Ini adalah satu event non-sertifikasi program yang akan dideliver oleh Enco. Enco merupakan salah satu divisi di Coaching Indonesia yang memang fokus di entrepreneurship coaching. Ini akan dibawakan oleh Mbak Mutia Suroharjo di Yogyakarta, tanggal 27 sampai 28 April. Dan untuk pendaftarannya bisa dilihat di layar, atau bahkan juga biasanya kami mengirimkan newsletter, jadi tinggal nanti klik linknya, dan Anda bisa mendaftar. Informasi mengenai harga dan macam-macam itu ada semuanya di halaman pendaftaran. Kemudian yang satu ini adalah multi-talent individual yang kita punya, yang fokus di youth coaching, Josh Alexander. Ya, Josh Alexander juga terkenal sebagai seorang ilusionis atau magician, dan juga dia punya talent di dunia sound engineering. Jadi bagi teman-teman yang belum tahu bahwa semua ini yang ada di belakang saya, ya, yang ada di depan saya ngelihat screen gede dan ada lighting segala macam, itu adalah setupnya dari Josh, ya. Dan Josh di kesempatan tanggal 27 April nanti akan membawakan workshop singkat tentang Magic in You. Sebetulnya ini adalah workshop khusus untuk anak remaja dan mahasiswa, ya. Yang mungkin ada teman-teman yang masih merasa sebagai remaja atau masih selalu punya mindset sebagai mahasiswa, perlu juga untuk datang ke event ini, ya. Magic in You. Atau Anda sebagai orang tua yang punya anak yang kelihatannya ingin punya anak Anda ingin punya mindset yang lebih kuat tentang siapa dirinya dan juga potensi yang ia miliki, dan kemudian bagaimana coaching bisa membantu membangkitkan itu semua, bisa mendaftarkan anak Anda ke Magic in You. Ini tanggal 27 April 2019, itu saya coba lihat di layar berapa lama, setengah hari ini di weekend, hari Sabtu, itu setengah hari eventnya di Pondok Indah, di kantor kami, Coaching Indonesia. Dan tanggal 18 Mei, di bulan puasa, Josh juga akan memfasilitasi kelas di pekan hari Sabtu, ya 18 Mei, itu tentang speak up. Ya, speak up ini tentang building confidence untuk berbicara di depan umum. Dan juga kami menerima request, ya, ada sekitar mungkin belasan orang yang request khusus karena Josh ini seorang magician, seorang ilusionis. Dia bisa membuat Anda linglung tiba-tiba di atas panggung dengan trik-triknya. Ada beberapa rekan, ya, belasan teman-teman ini yang kemudian menunggu teman-teman atau menunggu Peter untuk join. Saya ingin menerangkan sedikit tentang pesertanya adalah para trainer, ya, para senior. Pada tahun 2014 perusahaan yang ingin menggunakan Peter datang ke event Indonesia Coaching Summit yang nanti akan dipelajari dari kelasnya Josh, menyampaikan bahwa sebetulnya semua orang dilahirkan energizer, jadi suasananya jadi lebih menarik dan kehilangan untuk yang workshop kali ini sebelum depan ini sebetulnya adalah perkiraan akan berjalan selama dari atau 1 hari penuh yang dengan pelajari penuh melalui parenting, kemudian akan diajarkan oleh Josh, kemudian juga karir yang dijalankan di pengkondisian itu, announcement, dan kita akan ada announcement besar yang trauma kami akan buka, ya. Kemudian juga kita mengalami namanya sampai nanti kita mental bicara dengan sehingga Peter Barr. Nah, neuron-neuron yang ada di kepala kita akan buka yang pada awalnya pertengahan webinar itu kita sudah menerima 48 peserta, satu demi satu itu putus, ya, seperti bolam-bolam lampu yang putus sehingga tidak menyala di keseluruhan kepala kita. Nah, proses pengkondisian lingkungan ini yang kemudian membuat kita jadi kehilangan kejeniusan kita. Dan bagusnya, ya, kalau dari ilmu neuroscience ternyata didapat bahwa otak kita itu seperti plastik yang bisa dicetak ulang, yang bisa dihidupkan kembali. Bohlam-bohlam listrik yang mati itu masih bisa menyala kembali dengan pancingan-pancingan kondisi yang berbeda yang kemudian kita alami. Dan coaching sebetulnya melalui pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang provoking itu bisa membuat sel-sel otak kita kembali menyala, karena harus bekerja untuk merangkai jawaban. Yang biasanya kalau katakanlah di rumah atau di kantor kita hanya disuruh atau dinasehati bagaimana hidup yang benar, bagaimana bekerja yang benar, Tapi dalam proses coaching, kita tidak dinasehati, kita tidak hanya dikasih tahu gitu ya, tapi kita diminta berpikir. Dan proses berpikir itulah yang kemudian membuat bola-bola menyampu atau sel-sel neuron di kepala kita, di otak kita itu pelan-pelan nyala. Dan ini kalau dilatih terus-menerus, kemudian bisa membuat sel-sel otak itu bukan hanya nyala, tapi nyambung satu dengan yang lain. Sehingga kemampuan decision making kita lebih cepat, kemudian juga problem solving kita lebih cepat. Nah, sebetulnya ini yang kita ingin dapatkan juga ya, teori dan juga praktisnya dari Peter Barr malam hari ini. Oke, nah kita ingin juga memberikan announcement ya. Kita lanjut dulu ke announcement ya. Jadi announcement terkait dengan bulan Ramadan, teman-teman. Sebentar lagi kita memasuki bulan Ramadan. Kalau semuanya lancar itu tanggal 5 Mei kita sudah mulai puasa ya. Dan tanggal 18 Mei kita ada event khusus untuk buka puasa bersama. Tanggal 18 Mei itu hari Sabtu, itu kita akan mengadakan buka puasa bersama di tempat yang nanti akan ditentukan, yang pasti tempatnya enak ya dan nyaman. Nah, di kesempatan buka puasa bersama tanggal 18 Mei itu, nanti kita akan ada mini talk tentang mindfulness, ya, bagaimana kita sebagai coach itu bisa kemudian mindful dengan meditasi, kemudian juga cara berpikir yang in the moment, jadi nggak terburu-buru mau ngasih solusi, tapi bisa tetap mindful, menemui coach di posisi di mana dia berada. Dan ini akan diberikan juga oleh Mbak Arida Wahyuni, dan juga ada Mbak Dani, serta nanti ada beberapa guest speaker yang lain ya. Jadi kita akan ada mini talk dulu, kemudian selanjutnya diisi dengan buka tajil ya, dan ketika kita udah tibanya makan ya, setelah sholat maghrib kita makan sama-sama. Jadi itu adalah event free yang nanti akan diberikan pada tanggal 18 Mei ya, sebagai acara kita kumpul-kumpul. Peter Barr sudah bergabung ya teman-teman, jadi saya akan cepat saja nanti untuk announcement selanjutnya saya akan sampaikan di kesempatan menjelang akhir. Nah, Peter Barr sudah join, rupanya beliau mungkin tadi take a break dulu karena ada perbedaan waktu ya. Jadi beliau take a break dulu kemudian join lagi menjelang pukul 7 ini, yang seperti yang memang dijadwalkan. Nah, hey Peter, how are you?
Good, Al. How are you?
Really well, Pete, really well, and really appreciate you are still waking up and you look vibrant.
It's 10 o'clock here, Al, so I'm trying to be vibrant.
Yeah. Did you have a new haircut?
The problem is I probably haven't had a haircut. I've got longer hair than I did last time you saw me.
Hey, believe it or not, looking at you tonight, you look much, much younger than meeting face-to-face.
The light does it.
Yeah, and we have 54 viewers right now, Peter, waiting for you. And I told them about our confusion about the timing, and really appreciate you are still making yourself available, looking vibrant, and getting ready to share about genius mindset. Yeah.
Thanks, Al. Looking forward to it, mate.
We have around 40 to 50 minutes while having you here, and really appreciate if you can share us a couple of important points about what does it mean to be genius and what makes us not being genius right now as an adult, and finally how coaching can help us awaken our nature of genius. So I guess our first question is that how do you define genius, or how do you see someone is being genius or not? What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, it's a great question, Al, and I'm really grateful, firstly, for everyone to be here this evening and have this conversation. We are blessed to be in a profession in our human work where we work with the best of people, and at times in our lives things happen that take us away from being that best soul we can be in the world. And if, as coaches, the one thing we do is help people reconnect back to that magic that they are, and I call it genius. It's a very difficult word for some people to appreciate, because we see genius as something only a few people have access to. My research in the last 20 years and my practical application with thousands of people over up to 20,000 hours of work is every one of you on this call, every person you work with, everyone you see in the street, everyone in your family, every soul is a genius. And Al's question about what is a genius, it's a great question. At the core of it, I raised the same curiosity when I first started looking at this. What is genius? And I thought it was only that a few people have access to. But when I looked into what genius truly is, it's something in each of us. And I started by looking at the dictionary. And the original definition of genius surprised me phenomenally. It's not about being smarter or cleverer or coming up with something so unique it changes the world. Genius is defined in the dictionary as this, and its original space. It's the God or spirit allocated to every one of us at our birth to oversee our destiny. That might sound hard to access or bizarre, but that is the Oxford Dictionary definition of true genius. Each of us has that in us, that voice that wants the best for us, that voice that is there to serve our destiny. How does that relate to coaching, Al? Is it not the best thing we can do every day to help people live their destiny? To help them hear that voice inside? I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't heard it and read it myself in the most credible source there is, the dictionary.
Interesting. Actually, I wrote in my book, and at the time I wasn't aware about the definition of genius according to Oxford's dictionary. I wrote in my book in Bahasa Indonesia, which I will translate it in English, is that kegagalan terbesar sebagai manusia bukanlah ketidakberhasilan mencapai sukses, tetapi ketidakmampuan kita untuk memaksimalkan potensi sebagai anugerah Tuhan. So in English, I'm trying to translate this. Our biggest failure is not that we are unable. Our biggest failure is not that we are unable to achieve success. Our biggest failure is that we are not maximizing our potential as God's given gift to us.
Yeah, that's beautiful, Al.
Yeah.
And it's true. It's so true.
Yeah. And you know what conditions in life that makes us lose that genius in our mind?
It's pretty simple, Al. We all have the gift of birth. So each one of us came into this world as a unique, clean canvas. Your word, potential, unlimited potential. I had the blessing of speaking with Deepak Chopra, some of you may know, and I asked him, what is it that all human beings that all human beings have that keep us from being our best.
Mm.
And he said, we all have unlimited potential. It's the process of living that keeps us from that. And what he meant by that in those words were, we all have an experience, Al, and viewers and listeners. We all have a very individual experience of life that detaches us or takes us away from our best self. Call it our original pain, the thing that detaches and takes us away from believing that we are unlimited. It makes us smaller. It makes us feel like we don't deserve. It makes us feel that we're not good enough to be that unlimited potential. And it is, in my view, probably the biggest disease in the world. It keeps us small, Al.
Mm. Mm. I've got a couple of questions for you, and I'm just trying to ask you one at a time.
Please.
One is about the original pain, but there is one more.
Yes.
So from what you were saying earlier, that in my language is that we're trying to be someone who is capable to do everything. Like,
yes.
We look at our millennials, they want to do this and that, and they want to arrive at the top of the mountain very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. Simply because they want to be someone. They want to show up as someone that has multi-talents. And looking at it, I'm seeing that those millennials, or even every one of us, is trying to be someone who is capable of doing many things.
Yes.
And learning from the definition of genius, it doesn't say that actually. It doesn't say that we are capable of doing many things, and we can be an artist, we can be a singer, we can be a coach, we can be this and that. It doesn't have to be like that. So is it true that being genius is we really finding who we are and our biggest talent, our biggest strength, and really making it available to the world? We are not trying to be someone, but we are trying to be in touch with who we are. And the journey of being in touch with who we are, that is the journey of becoming our true genius.
Yeah.
How does it?
Beautiful words. Beautiful words. If we start with the essence of who we are, our identity, our individualness, our uniqueness at its best, that's our starting point. Okay, without that, we're a ship without a rudder. We are unable to set a direction. We need to have a strong foundation of self. And unfortunately, most people don't. They have a sense of self that is defined by who they think the world wants us to be. And it doesn't start from inside, it starts from outside. So we have to go back in. We have to go back to our sense of identity. And it's not selfishness, Al, and listeners. It's not selfish at all to go inside and seek our best and highest truth. It's actually the gift that craves being opened, the gift that is there ready for us to express to the world. If we only looked inside rather than to the outside. Al, you mentioned the word the millennials. I understand the terminology, I understand the generations, who they are and what their criteria are. They're no different than any other generation, really. It's just they're brought up with a sense of immediacy, a sense of importance, brought on by social media, brought on by other things that make them quite potent. I ask you this, if you scratch below the surface of a millennial, what's there? Now, that's not taking away from the magic of their individuality. But I ask you, if you are a millennial or Gen Y, to go deeper, to seek a truth beyond the lie you've been sold that you can have it all. You can't have it all. It doesn't come cheaply. If you want it all, there ain't any shortcuts. If you want to leave this incarnation truly fulfilled and satisfied, go inside. Listen to your inner genius and ask, what does it want from me? That's the gift you have for the world.
Yeah. Well, let me translate this to bahasa Indonesia so that please will understand. Jadi dalam definisi Oxford Dictionary atau kamus Oxford, genius itu tidak didefinisikan sebagai bisa ini atau bisa itu, tetapi didefinisikan sebagai anugerah Tuhan yang memang milik kita, yang men-set arah ke destiny kita. Ya, destiny bahasa Indonesianya apa ya? Takdir kita tuh sesungguhnya apa? Itu adalah definisi jenius. Jadi anugerah yang secara natural kita sudah miliki yang kemudian menentukan takdir kita. Dan takdir di sini adalah takdir di mana kita menjadi diri sendiri yang memang sesungguhnya. Proses kehidupan membuat kita kehilangan jati diri tersebut karena ada istilahnya Peter Barr, original pain. Ini yang nanti saya akan tanyakan. Jadi original pain ini didapat pada saat kita grow up, ya, sebagai dari sejak balita, kemudian anak, kemudian remaja, sampai dewasa, sampai orang tua. Sehingga kita tuh kehilangan kejeniusan kita. Kita lebih banyak didefine atau didefinisikan oleh dunia, bukan oleh diri kita sendiri. So, Peter, you mentioned about original pain, and you know, the moment you put that word, I feel the goosebump. Yeah, and it's true goosebump. Like there is something about this original pain, something that has happened in our life,
right?
And maybe this is the first event that we are losing touch with our genius. So what is it actually, original pain, that you mentioned earlier?
Oh, Al, you want to go there? Okay, let's do that. I thought we were talking about genius mindset, but we'll get to that further. Look, the original pain, Al, is the first experience every one of us has. And it's between the ages of 0 and 7 when our brains are so clean, so ready to receive new data, new neural connections. And in that period, we have an experience which, at our age now, and I'm imagining the audience is between 25 to 60 maybe, or older or younger, I don't know. But for at least 20 years of our lives, we've held on to something that hurt us, that physically, emotionally, or mentally was the first time we sensed a disconnection, the first time we sensed we weren't enough. And it can be as simple as the first time you went to school and mum left you for the first time, or the first time you were given a stern look by a parent, or the first time you were laughed at by someone at school, or left out of being selected in a sporting team. Your experience will be your own experience. But it's the first time, because before that you didn't know pain. And it was profoundly large. If you could access that pain and that event now, you would probably not see it as very big. But to the untouched child, to the brain that is so ready for programming, when you put stuff onto that brain that is fear-based, pain-based, then it becomes very important to the development of that child.
So are you saying actually our reaction in that moment greatly define who we are when we are becoming an adult?
That's my belief. And there's a lot of research to back it up, Al. Most psychology theories are based around, or a lot of psychology theories are based around what happens when we're young. And it's at 0 to 7 years of age when we define our identity, who we are, our behaviour at a core level, and how we respond to the world. And we, as adults, carry that through for the rest of our lives, running that program or programs unconsciously aware they even exist, yet they keep us away from being our fullest expression. They put a ceiling or a top mark on how we're going to grow in life. And if you ask yourself as a viewer, what's the thing that's keeping you most from being your best self? I wonder if you can access it.
We're gonna go to there. We're gonna go to there in our conversation. But let me wrap it up first for our listeners.
Thank you.
Jadi sebetulnya ada kejadian, kalau menurut Peter ya, kejadian yang signifikan ketika kita kecil, antara usia 1 sampai 7 tahun, kemungkinan besar, di mana kita berkenalan pertama kali dengan namanya pain, atau rasa sakit secara mental ya. Dan rasa sakit ini bisa sederhana seperti pertama kali ditinggal oleh ibu ketika diantar ke sekolah, atau ketika melihat orang tua bertengkar, atau ketika tidak masuk ke dalam tim seleksi untuk kompetisi ketika kita kecil. Dan jumpa pertama kita dengan kejadian yang menyakitkan itu mendefinisikan track yang berbeda, ya, membuat track yang beneran berbeda dengan yang sebetulnya track yang sudah tersedia dari konstelasi jenius yang ada di otak kita. Tapi ini misteri kan, ya, karena semua orang pasti mengalami kejadian menyakitkan. Jadi sebetulnya apa sih maknanya, kenapa kita harus sakit dulu? Gitu. Dan apakah ada cara sekarang ini untuk mengembalikan tracknya? Sehingga seseorang, katakanlah yang otoriter sebagai atasan, itu menjadi otoriter karena kejadian dulu waktu kecil dia pernah dibully, ya, itu bisa kembali menjadi diri yang sesungguhnya. Ya. Nggak otoriter, tapi juga bisa dengerin, bisa berkolaborasi dengan timnya. Itu gimana ya mengembalikan track ini? Nah, ini yang nanti kita akan explore selanjutnya bersama Peter. Dan jika ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan dari rekan-rekan, bisa dipublish di private chat atau group chat langsungnya, biar kita semua bisa lihat, dan saya akan senang untuk mentranslate-nya ke dalam bahasa Inggris agar dijawab oleh Peter. We are actually opening up for questions and answers. I'm inviting listeners to put up their questions onto the chat facility. I'd like to move forward with you, Peter, about the genius mindset. So we know that in the past, in the childhood, we had this first encounter with pain, the original pain. And somehow that defines who we are not. Okay? Someone who is like, authoritative or, angry and jealousy, jealous and all those kind of reaction. And the genius mindset, what are the signs of genius mindset so that we know the references?
Okay. Just backtrack a little bit, Al. So we all have that experience of pain which limits us from being our best self. So with the work we're doing in Indonesia in June, we're not going to be going too much into that work, okay? We're not going to go too much into as Al knows, the Deep Shift platform. We're going to go, we'll get to that in the work, but what we want to do is look at, well, what are the traits of great geniuses? What can we access now and tonight as we leave this program? Even if we haven't done all the work, what can we access right now that the great geniuses' mindsets include? So we'll keep it pretty simple tonight, Al. So one of the great traits of genius, I researched genius for many years, and it's in my book. We talk about what the great geniuses had that made them different. And what makes them different is not that special, okay? So please, listeners, know that what I'm sharing with you is available to all of you right now. Okay. The first thing that one of the great geniuses have is that they, as Thomas Edison said, he said, "I stick with the problem longer." Okay. In a book by Michael Gelb called "Discover Your Genius," he uses the term frustration tolerance. Now, what that means, sticking with the problem longer, frustration tolerance, perseverance, it means in your work as a coach or in life, it's really important that you have the capacity to stay as long as you can with the issue, either with yourself or your client. So please, that's one of the gifts geniuses bring. Stay with, be patient with the problem you're in, stay with it longer, be comfortable with the frustration. Thomas Edison took 10,000 experiments to get the light bulb right, and over 50,000 experiments to get the batteries we know today correct. Ask you a question: would you have stuck to 10,000 times for the light bulb, or 50,000 for the battery? I ask you to be more tolerant, more patient, deal with the frustration better than we currently are with your clients or with your life or with your coaching practice. That's one trait of genius. Al, do you want me to throw another few mindsets in there?
Yeah, because someone can argue Thomas Edison maybe from birth he is smart, and all those people like Einstein or maybe from birth they are smart, and they just found something in their life that can keep them smart.
They found a focus, Al. They found something to focus their energy on. I question whether we stay focused enough and find that one thing that we're willing to focus on. Some of those great geniuses, male and female, you can look at the Marie Curies and others. Marie Curie had 2 Nobel Prizes in physics and I think physics and chemistry, the only person ever in history. They were incredible because they found a problem to stick to. We probably haven't found that problem or that purpose in ourselves enough. So call it a problem or call it a purpose, but find something to really find worthwhile to stick to. That's the gift. And believe me, in the research on intelligence, IQ is something that IQ, intelligent quotient, logical intelligence, call it what you want, is a lot of what people like the Einsteins and the Edisons brought. But there are so many other intelligences. One we know in coaching quite well is emotional intelligence. Some of the greatest people in history had high emotional intelligence. Look at your Gandhis. Look at your Barack Obama. Look at those people in history who knew people and could connect. That was their genius. Okay? There's spiritual intelligence. There's universal intelligence. There's spatial intelligence. We all have something unique that fits into an intelligence that does not have to be defined by the fact you're good at mathematics, science, or chemistry. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, so this means we want to find out our passion or something that we are good at, something that we are always curious at, and then stick with that for how long, it doesn't matter. Just like Thomas Alva Edison, maybe he's passionate about looking at the lights or the electricity, and then he stays with that problem long enough until he found something. He found this breakthrough.
Absolutely. Albert Einstein went to his deathbed with an unsolved problem, and he stuck with it for many, many, many years. But he never gave up right till he died. And that problem was a unified theory of everything. And it frustrated him till the day he died. But he stayed with it till the day he died, Al. What problem or what purpose are we willing to stay with for our whole life that makes meaning of our lives? That's our unique individual genius. Find that, and you will have found the true purpose for why you were born.
Or maybe if there is one word in my language to represent this, is that if we are always being curious to see, to hear, to learn, then our brain will be triggered to always find something new.
Yeah. One of the great, if you read my book, one of the great traits of genius, and it's done through the modeling of all of the great geniuses, and one of their traits, as well as what I've mentioned, is what's called, it is curiosity, but they ask lots of what if questions. What if I tried that? Albert Einstein, to discover the theory of relativity, did this. He pretended, he said, what if I jumped on a light beam like a motorbike and I rode it through the universe? Where would I end up? That's the what if question he asked. And the answer he got in his play, because that's another thing that geniuses do, they play and have fun, they make light of their issues. When he played with that idea, he ended up coming back and ending up where he started. So he said, if I end up where I started, that means light can't travel in a straight line. It must be curved. Oh my God, the theory of relativity was born. Because he asked a question, what if I jumped on a pretend motorbike and went through the universe? What if? What if I took my coaching practice to the next level? What if I asked that tougher question? What if questions sit in your mind right now? And if they're not, what if question could you ask right now?
So this is very enlightening bit in this conversation, because what if this, what if that, what if I this, and what if I that is actually the thinking of imagination. If we can imagine something that is beyond our limit today. And this is exactly the issue of adults, because adults don't imagine. Adults set the bar for themselves.
They ask the question, what if I fail? They still ask what if questions, but they ask negative what if questions. What if I fail? What if I look bad? What if I'm not liked? Rather than, what if the world is amazing? What if I really did make a difference? How would that be? So ask powerful, purposeful, and positive what if questions.
Imagination is the key. To really take us beyond our limits. Because as an adult, like many of us, when we first learned coaching, what we had in mind is that I'm not good enough. I'm not talented. The what if question is about, what if someone judges me that I'm not good enough? So instead of what if imaginative, it's like, what if that has to do with the limiting self?
It is all to do with the limiting self, Al. So I question your listeners to say, if you come up with, what if I'm not good enough? Ask the same question, what if I am? What if I'm actually amazing? How would that look and feel?
There are a couple of questions from listeners. I will read it out to you. Pak Hening mengatakan, apa langkah pertama untuk mendapatkan kembali kejeniusan kita? Mungkin yang tadi sekalian nanti dijawab bersama juga pertanyaannya Mas Abdillah Samad. Apa kaitan antara jenius dengan bakat? So there are one questions that I will connect into one. First is about, what is the connection between genius and talent? Maybe this natural talent. And what will be the first step to come back to our genius?
So what's the last bit, Al? Sorry.
What will be the first step to get us back to our genius?
Thank you to the person who brought that question up. It's a really good question. So the first step to coming back to our genius is to first have awareness of what's keeping us from our genius. Okay? If the light is not on in the room, if we can't see what's stopping us, we'll continually fall over it. Okay? We have to be aware. We have to be courageous enough to own, to be aware of and own what's stopping us from being our best. So it's going inside and checking in. What is it that's stopping me? What do I need to own right now that is keeping me from that space? And if that's not what we do in coaching as a starting point for people's change, then we're probably not serving them to be their best self.
And what's the relation between genius and talent?
It's a beautiful overlap, you know. Talent, look, if we talk about talent that is innate, that is which we're born with, then that is part of our genius. We have our own talent. The talent's the expression of our genius. Okay, so if I'm born with the genius to connect with people, maybe my talent is to listen. Maybe my talent is to be curious. And they're the talents I bring to fulfill my genius of deep connection. So we find talents or expressions of our genius that serve us to be our best self. They're beautifully connected and overlapped. Okay? So when you're in your space of what am I really good at, they're your talents. Okay? I'm going to bring something in here, Al, that's in my book, and we will be doing at the workshop in Indonesia. Every one of you who comes to the workshop will find out and be able to express their unique genius. Okay? And the first part of your genius, your talent, is your potential. Okay? There's 3 P's: potential, passion, and purpose. Now, potential, Al, is made up with the word potent. That which we're strong at. That which we're really good at. That's our talents. Okay? But it's only one part of your genius. Yeah?
Okay.
Potency is the talent. One part of 3 of your genius.
Well, it's a beautiful framework, and it gives us more understanding about how we can come back to our genius.
Yeah.
Jadi kalau saya terjemahkan dalam 3 kata untuk kita kembali ke jenius kita. 1, potential, passion, dan purpose. Jadi pada dasarnya potential itu salah satu di dalamnya ada talent yang bisa dikeluarkan. Jadi orang yang punya bakat ya belum tentu dia bisa berhasil kalau dia tidak bisa memaksimalkan potensi bakatnya itu. Dan untuk memaksimalkannya memang diperlukan passion yang memang betul-betul menyukai, mencintai dan melakukannya setiap hari dengan purpose. Jadi bukan yang main gitar cuma main gitar doang ya, gombrang-gambreng doang, tapi tidak ada purpose ya, passion gitu ya. Saya passionnya apa? Main musik, main gitar, tapi nggak ada purpose. Mau jadi pemain gitar yang seperti apa? Atau mau menunjukkan passionnya ini untuk event apa, misalnya harus ada purpose. Dan purpose-nya pun bisa purpose yang sangat-sangat high level, seperti memberikan impact, kemudian manfaat, ataupun menghibur orang lain, mendapatkan makna dari apa yang dilakukan melalui passionnya itu. Jadi potential, passion, dan purpose. And there is one question actually, and this is very interesting. And I'm actually questioning myself whether there is a relation between genius and IQ, intelligent equation. Yeah, because this Christo Gary asking, if we come back to our genius, can we measure it by taking the IQ test and maybe our IQ has gone up?
For some of us, yes. For those of us whose genius is go back to talent or potential, for those whose genius lies in the logical brain process, it will be part of your genius. For others who it lies in the emotional intelligence, or those who lie in spiritual intelligence or spatial intelligence or relational intelligence, it will have no connection to IQ. IQ is very specific. It's around logical intelligence, one of many, many intelligences. So because you know your genius, it won't increase your IQ. Okay? It might give relevance to IQ, relevance or comparability between IQ, EQ, SQ, UQ, and other intelligences. But the most important thing, Al, I'd love the listeners to get is, you know, your unique genius and your intelligence is a gift, and it doesn't have to be something that is measured against an IQ scale, which our society, unfortunately, puts so much credibility around. Matter of fact, the most brilliant people in the world are not IQ-based.
Yeah.
The ones that make the difference, that make change, are the ones who have a deep EQ, SQ, and other intelligences. Not taking away from IQ, it's very important. But know your own gift and own that it's as valuable as anything else.
Yeah, because IQ is one of the measurements, and the measurement is always made up. You know, someone makes that measurement and doesn't generalize everything else, right? So it doesn't have to be reflected on an IQ score, but can also be in EQ or SQ or UQ or anything. Or maybe we don't have to be care about that. As long as we, yeah.
I think that the less we care about it, not care about it, but the less we put a comparison between people that makes them less than or more than because of an IQ test. There's a great quote by Einstein. I'll probably misquote it, but it says, if we judge a fish by how well it climbs a tree, then we're not really valuing the fish. So, if you're a fish and you're trying to climb a tree, well, it's not what you were born for. But please, people, own and grow and evolve your individual genius, not that which your society tells you is you. You will be always left sad and feeling a sense of wholeness because you're not following your dream and your genius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of questions about original pain. Well, it appears to be something interesting to talk about, at least briefly. And I believe this comes from parents. Yeah, there are two questions. Yeah. First is that, can we coach our child if we are aware that our child has original pain?
I laugh a little bit because I think that is such a place we need to do work. Firstly, as parents, I say to all of you who are parents and those of you who will become parents, and even those who may never become parents, we can't live our lives paranoid and hypersensitive about how we respond to our children because we don't even necessarily have the capacity to affect when their original pain is. They've got to feel it. Everyone's got to feel it. So if you have children, own that if you're doing the best job you can as a parent and your intention is always for the best, just be a great parent. As far as coaching our children, I'd suggest that if we look at the criteria of what coaching is, I think we have to be fairly objective. And I'm not sure if we can be objective with our own children. I know my children, I try to coach my own children and I get told, Dad, stop trying to coach me. So you know, ultimately, I don't think we can coach our own children. We can bring the coaching mindset to our relationships with our children, and that is to be always mindful of accessing their best self, not by telling them what to do, but by asking them great questions. You know, what do you think is the thing you should be doing here? What's your best expression? What do you want? Rather than telling them. They're very, 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 very smart children. And all I ask is you bring questions to them, not solutions, and help them grow into their own skin.
Yeah. So you said that as parents, we should be careful of judging our children whether or not they have original pain or what kind of original pain they have, because that will be coming from someone else. Original pain is something that has to be experienced and has to be made aware of from those individuals, not from other people say them what the pain are. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's what I'm saying, Al, but I'll try and put it simply. As long as we are being truly intentional for the best outcomes for our children, that's all we can do. If we know we're being angry or abusive or short-tempered or impatient with our children, that's not high intention. It's something that we all do sometimes. We'll just be more aware be more conscious, aware of our own behaviour and our children. It does impact them more deeply than we can possibly know. And I hope that all of us as parents just do the best we can to take our awareness and our mindfulness to that space in a way that serves them to be the best expression they can be. They will have original pain now.
Yeah.
It may come from you, it may come from an uncle or an auntie, it may come from a friend at school, it may come from things that you can't change. What you do to support them around that is the other question.
And one question still in regards to original pain, can we actually, or is there any possibility that we inherit original pain from our parents?
Yes. Is that a question from somebody, or is that your own?
From somebody.
I genuinely believe we can inherit that. Depends how far people want to go in this conversation. I've done work in an area called timeline therapy and neurolinguistics, where I've taken people back into past lives, and in those past lives, their parents have experienced stuff which carries over genetically or at a DNA level potentially into their lives. You can also experience original pain in utero. That is the unborn child feeling the energy of the parent, whether it's an abusive parenting relationship, whether it's some energy they're going through that's not good. That can be their original pain as well. So yes, it can be from parents or grandparents or other generations. It can be from in utero as well. That's why in the work we do in the deep shift work, Al, you know, that we don't try to always ask people to remember it. It's not about remembering it. It's about understanding and being aware of the impact of it.
So moving forward, how can we use coaching to awaken our genius?
Firstly, as coaches out there in the world, all of you who are listening, I just compel you to bring your best self to your coaching room. If you are consciously coming to your coaching space with an awareness, a consciousness, a mindfulness, and an openness to be courageous, letting go of the fear that you're not enough or the fear that you might ask a bad question, and just being in the room and the space, you will channel what you need. That might be a hard word for people to hear, but it will come to you. Trust your inner self. Trust your instinct. Trust that the thought that's coming to you is probably the thought you need to share. And that's most likely part of your genius. Okay. As I said, I promise you when we do the work together in June that you will be able to take your genius away with you, your unique special expression of it, that you can take to your coaching room. And when you have that, you have a litmus test to come back to. Am I being my best self? And maybe the question I'd ask you to take away from you from tonight is, when you're going to your coaching room, is, am I being my best self in this moment? For my client, for my children, for my whoever. And there'll be an inner voice, your tutelary God or attendant spirit, helping you understand whether you are or not. Okay?
Jadi teman-teman, sebetulnya dari pertanyaan ini, kita ingin tahu bagaimana kita melakukan coaching untuk membangkitkan kembali jenius kita. Dan sebetulnya kalau kita sebagai coach di sini, ketika kita masuk ke dalam ruangan bertemu dengan coach atau klien kita mau nanya ke diri sendiri, sebetulnya apakah saya sekarang sedang menjadi diri terbaik saya? Apakah saya sekarang katakanlah sedang berusaha membuktikan siapa saya? Karena dengan pertanyaan-pertanyaan tersebut kita kemudian mereflect siapa diri kita saat itu, in the moment. Masuk ke mindfulness. Dan trust, intuisi, pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang datang itu mendarat dari space yang ada di sekitar kita. Mungkin terdengar agak abstrak. Tapi kalau nanti ada beberapa rekan yang mempraktekkan ketika you are being yourself to the best of your ability, saat itu tanpa ada agenda, tanpa ada interest, tanpa ada pembuktian siapa Anda, di situ sebetulnya Anda sedang berada dalam jenius Anda dan bisa membantu si klien juga untuk menjadi jenius dari dalam dirinya. Ini tentunya butuh praktis dan Peter Barr dari tadi menyebutkan workshop di bulan Juni. Ini nanti akan diumumkan. Akan ada, ya Peter akan datang ke Indonesia dan bukan hanya Peter tapi juga beberapa rekan yang lain. Ini nanti saya akan share. Would like to come back to you, Pete. There is someone is looking for evidence. What can we prove that we are being? What can we prove? Or what are the evidence that we are being genius?
Okay. And again, another great question. I think we have all, if we think about it or feel, we have all accessed our genius at some point. And one of the most clear pieces of evidence that you're in that space is you're in what's the term is called flow. Flow is a place where time makes no difference, where you lose a sense of time, where you have abundance of information coming in that serves you, where you are totally present in the moment, where you feel deeply confident and trusting in your own beingness. And it's a beautiful place. Most people, when I ask, name a time when you felt that you were your best in the world. And they can normally say, well, when I'm with my children or when I'm coaching and I'm just totally present. And when you ask, well, what is that about? It's normally because all of those things I just mentioned. Time is flowing. Infinite energy, infinite creativity, infinite questions come to mind. There's a deep sense of confident groundedness. That's the evidence. And I promise every one of you has felt that at some point. The question I ask you is, would you like to feel that more often? Would you like to be able to have access to that at your beck and call? That's the difference when you bring it to a conscious awareness, so you can choose it when you want it. Okay? And the hundreds and hundreds of people I've done it with would all probably agree with me when they say, I love being able to get back to that space quicker, more effectively, and with a greater sense of just being my best self. Yeah, that's the evidence.
If you watch the movie Bohemian Rhapsody,
Yes,
Freddie
absolutely. Great movie.
I watched it twice, and there's always one line that sticks in my mind. Freddie Mercury was asked by Mary when Freddie was rising his career as a rock star. Mary was asking Freddie, what does it feel like? What does it feel like to sing in front of many people? And what makes me interested and it strikes me is that Freddie answers, I am becoming myself.
Yeah.
There are no borders. I'm not thinking, I'm flowing.
Yeah.
And we can say absolutely in that moment, Freddie is being genius, right? Just channeling.
That is beautiful, because he's doing, go back to the word talent, he's fulfilling his talent, his potential. He's doing something he's absolutely passionate about, okay? And he's doing something purposeful. He's effective. And purpose, by the way, is not about self, it's about others and the world. It's what are you contributing? That's your purpose. So Freddie Mercury is doing something he's good at, his potential. He's doing something he's passionate about that he loves. And he's doing something that's contributing and adding to others, his purpose. That's why Freddie's accessing his genius. And he became himself. So the listeners, would you like to become fully yourself again on whatever stage it is that you choose in life, whether it's one-on-one, groups, large audiences? That's the gift of your genius.
And maybe not everyone can be Freddie Mercury, but everyone can be themselves, right? So, because I also watched one of the documentary of, I can't remember, long time ago, when someone asked actually comparing between a highly executive level who owns large corporation with a simple driver, bus driver. And this corporate guy has lots of money, but from what he does, he tell people what to do. He become authoritarian and also very egocentric because he has this big, large company. But on the other end, there is a bus driver, and it is actually a true story. A bus driver who is passionate about taking people from here to there, and every time someone gets off the bus, he says hi and goodbye and have a good day and enjoy your trip, completely coming from the heart.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't have to be Freddie Mercury who can sing and break lots of chords, but if we can be someone who serves others from our heart, and finding that from what we do in every time of our life, maybe we can be, maybe we are a coach, maybe someone is becoming a bus driver, but every one of us does from our purpose, and we are not seeking out more than that. We are not seeking out something external like money or recognition, but we are doing it from our heart in everyday basis.
Yeah. Well, we're taking our that's beautiful, and we're taking the talent, our potential, finding hard work and passion in it, and serving others, which is purposeful. Those three things aligned open up to our genius, to what I call the infinite source of whatever you need. Okay? It's where we are one, where we are all connected. Otherwise, we're not connected. Your corporate executive, Al, generally speaking, is not connected. He's coming from an ego, pain body space of lack and needing to be defined by money and status. Okay? he and or she is not defined by a purposeful existence if it's the focus on money, status, and control. Your bus driver is doing something he's good at. He drives the bus well. He's passionately serving customers, and he's making a difference. That is far richer than the corporate executive.
Yeah, because he is totally present and flow with the experience.
Absolutely. And if the audience thinks about when are they in flow most, I can almost mind read that most people would say when they're in service of others doing something that means something to them. Yeah. How would everyone like to be there more often? And yes, abundance occurs there, abundance of money, abundance of connection, abundance of whatever it is you seek abundance in will occur when you're aligned. It doesn't occur when you're coming from scarcity and fear. And most coaches, and I say this very, very truthfully after 20 years, most coaches I know come from a fear-based scarcity where there's a sense that there's not enough out there. There's always enough out there. I've been here for 20 years and there's always enough out there. And it turns up when you need it.
Well, that's the hardest part because everyone is not feeling enough with what they have. Well, we come to our last questions before letting you go. Is that how do you include values in the makeup of one's genius?
Yeah. I could talk about the Thomas Edison 10,000 failures and the frustration tolerance, sticking with the problem longer, all that stuff. Failure is inevitable. Failure is a part of learning. If you aren't failing, you're not trying hard enough. Okay? If you're just doing okay and you've never experienced the sense of failure, then I challenge, have you opened yourself to truly being successful at what you love? I've failed many times. Oh my God. Sorry, I laugh, mate, with a maniacal laugh. I think our real resilience is built through failure. So I look at failure as a capacity to build resilience as well. I've had a large coaching practice, a global coaching practice that failed, not because the coaching wasn't great, but because the world wasn't ready for it, and I didn't have the money to make it bigger, and it got too big too quick. So I know what failure feels like. I'm not sitting here in some position going, "Oh no, I've never failed." I stick with this because I genuinely believe it's the best expression of my genius. And I'm open to failure again. I invite it in, not because I want it. I invite it in because if I don't, it will hit me on the back of the head someday. And I ask it to be part of my journey, but I don't ask it to be the main player in my journey. So,
what about values that we have in our life? How does it contribute to our genius?
Well, it tells us what not to do. It tells us what our genius might not be. It can be evidence that we're not doing it, not living true to our genius. Too many people, and I say this to some coaches, and this might not be helpful for some coaches. If you genuinely aren't aligned with your genius doing this work, you're not doing the right work. Okay? Some people come into coaching, think it's an easy game, and it's about helping people. No. Failure in this space, if it's too long as a failure and it keeps repeating itself, could just be evidence that and feedback that you need to do something different. Okay. Now, I don't say that for people to leave coaching. I actually hope people come in and stay. But failure in the coaching sense can be evidence that maybe it isn't your journey. Or it could also be evidence of the biggest lesson you need to learn to be a better coach. So look behind what the failure is and say, what's it really represent? that could be my biggest teacher right now. That failure could be just something that you could show gratitude to and say, thank you, failure. I won't be doing that again.
Yeah. It's a, I don't know, little abstract about values.
A little what, sorry, Al?
Something arguable about values, and I guess something that we do, at least that we can measure our behavior. Something more tangible that we can always look up and validate whether we are still on track with our values or not. But values can be just, values can, I don't know, maybe there are no words that can represent what values we have, but at least we can see it from our behavior, and we can always come back on track to our genius.
Well, the behavior is, remember, thinking and mindset comes before behavior.
Yeah.
So we have to look at what mindset's going on that creates the behavior.
Yeah.
And it's most likely a mindset of fear or less than or not good enough that is manifesting in some behavior that's not serving us to be our best self. We actually set ourselves up for failure a lot, Al, because at least if we fail, we don't have to turn up to be fearful of success, and we like to be right. This is something I learned a little while ago. Beyond nearly anything we have, we want to be right. Okay, and if we think we're not good enough, and if we think we're undeserving, and we build evidence of that, then at least we're right. I told you I wasn't good enough. I told you I was a failure, because the brain wants to be right. Okay? I prefer to be wrong about that and build a body of evidence that says I can be successful, rather than right about not being good enough. That's why mindset comes before behavior. We're going to work with the mindset, the unconscious programs. Otherwise, we're wasting our time just dealing with behavior.
Yeah.
Okay? We talk about genius mindset. Go back to the original purpose of this conversation. It's not genius behavior, it's genius mindset. Everybody start there. Believe you are great. Believe you are special. Believe you are a genius. And really believe it. And watch what happens. Hey, look at the evidence when we tell ourselves we're not good enough. Yeah, we act like we're not good enough. Okay, so if we believe we're great, and I know it's easy to say the words, they're just words. The workshop will be truly defining your genius so that you have something to measure it against.
I believe that is a very nice closing from you as we are moving towards the end of our webinar tonight, and really glad to have you summarize this, to always come back to our genius mindset. Believe that you are great, believe that you are genius, you are capable, and don't let anything else getting in the way. And the framework of potential, passion, and purpose. From that mindset, how do we know our potential, and how and this is the journey of life, right? Asking ourselves again and trying and experimenting with what we do until we find something that we are really passionate about, and then really go deeper into it with a purpose, with something much more bigger than money, than fame, than power, something much more bigger than that. And in that journey, we are becoming our genius.
It's reconnecting back to our genius. We always were a genius from the moment we were born, but the experience of the original event and pain took us away from it, and we keep disconnecting further from it. So okay, all we're doing is bringing you back to what is your genius. Okay, we're not creating something new. It's there to tap into. We just cover it with too many things and keep it safe. Okay.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for really, really wonderful webinar and sharing from you. And we understand it's coming to 11 o'clock. Yeah, 11
Way
o'clock.
past my bedtime.
Yeah, 11 o'clock of your time, and really appreciate you are making yourself available. So I'm representing all the listeners from Jakarta, really, really saying thank you for your availability to make our webinar vibrant and powerful. So listeners, teman-teman, we are about to share something very, very interesting here. In June, teman-teman, kalau melihat di screen, Coaching Indonesia akan menyelenggarakan Coaching Mastery. Ya, Coaching Mastery. Coaching Mastery ini adalah annual celebration dari Coaching Indonesia yang pertama akan dilakukan di Sultan Hotel Jakarta hari Kamis tanggal 27 Juni. Peter Barr will be speaking on Genius Mindset secara lebih komprehensif lagi. Jadi Anda akan diberikan tools dan juga tricks, tips, teknik tentang bagaimana kembali ke genius kita, karena genius ini accessible untuk semuanya. Peter akan membuka di sesi pertama, kemudian dilanjutkan dengan Lida Turai. Lida Turai adalah master coach dari Ukraine. Dia juga dulunya Global Board dari ICF, dan akan membawakan materi tentang Inside the Executive Mind. Selanjutnya, ada sesi ketiga bersama dengan saya, Breaking the Illusions, ya, bagaimana kita menggunakan coaching untuk menerabas ilusi-ilusi yang ada di kepala kita. Dan nanti saya juga akan dibantu oleh Josh the Magic Man dengan magic tricknya, Decoding Your Brain. Selain itu juga ada Laurencia Lina dan Nufi Wardana. Laurencia Lina, professional coach, corporate leader, dan juga seorang dancer profesional. Akan berduet dengan Nufi Wardana, professional singer, yang juga seorang coach, membawakan The Coaching Rhythm. Ya, perpaduan yang unik antara musik dan movement, yang diambil dari filosofi coaching yang dalam. Harga normal itu 1,9 juta, tetapi malam hari ini, hanya malam hari ini sampai besok, itu teman-teman mendapatkan special price yang super, ya, senilai 900.000 saja. Kalau nanti tinggal masukkan namanya saja di alamat coachingindonesia.com/CIF, coachingindonesia.com/CIF. Jadi untuk malam hari ini sampai besok, khusus teman-teman, itu tinggal masukin nama aja, nggak usah bayar, ya. Nggak usah bayar dulu, tinggal masukin nama, karena ini baru dibukanya nanti minggu depan, hanya karena ini ada opportunity di mana kita ada sharing juga dari Peter, jadi super special price 900.000 dari yang biasanya nanti akan kita jual itu 1,9 juta. Jadi masukkan aja nama Anda, email, dan nomor HP di coachingindonesia.com/CIF, coachingindonesia.com/CIF, malam hari ini atau besok pagi, ya, sebelum nanti akhirnya harga super spesial ini kami ganti dengan harga yang biasanya 1,9 juta. Jadi put yourself up, book now, pay later, don't worry, ya, yang penting kita dapat nama sehingga nanti setelah itu teman-teman bisa join aja untuk mendapatkan harga ini. Peter Barr, Lida Turai, dan saya sendiri serta Laurencia Lina, Nufi Wardana, dan juga Josh, dan juga ada beberapa kejutan yang lain tentunya, ya, akan hadir bersama dengan Anda tanggal 27 Juni, hari Kamis di Hotel Sultan, Jakarta. Jadi jangan lewatkan kesempatan ini dari jam 8 sampai jam 16 saja. So, wrapping up, thank you very much Peter. Terima kasih juga untuk teman-teman sekalian yang sudah berpartisipasi di Coaching Insight episode 2 tentang The Genius Mindset. Special thank you for Peter Barr, the one and only, the legend of the genius. So we are really looking forward to having you in Jakarta by the 27th of June, and you will be sharing more comprehensive about the genius mindset, and audience will expect to have takeaways, techniques or tools or anything like discovery from your session, right?
They will have that.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Peter. Really appreciate, and have a good rest. I think 11 o'clock at night for you.
Thank you, everybody, for staying on the line, and I hope you take something special from tonight's conversation. Thanks, Al, for making it a beautiful conversation.
Thank you, Pete. Goodbye.
Good night, sir. Good night, everybody.